Hey everybody, it's Deanna.
Hey classmates, this is Brett, and welcome back to episode 47 of Hard Lessons.
47. I was thinking it was like 44. Where did they go? We've done them?
3 weeks ago. Yeah. See, 47, 44. See how cool? That was rude of me. I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It just means I've been really busy apparently.
Apparently, I can testify to that for you. You have been very busy.
I really did think it was like 44 for some reason. That's okay though.
Maybe let me make sure. Maybe I miscounted. Nope, last week was 46.
Like you didn't. It was just me.
Yeah. So, have you had a good week?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. It was extremely busy. As usual, but I mean it was good.
And 4-day weekend looking at you in the face.
It is. It's going by way too fast, though. I need it to slow down.
Slow its roll.
Yes. Because I need Monday to go extremely slow and Tuesday.
I bet you they're going to be filled with Harry Potter and sleep.
And I've got homework and I've got work to do. So, no.
You know what a break is, right?
No, I really don't.
I understand.
I usually do nap, though. That's my break.
There you go. So there's going to be a nap involved.
Probably.
Excellent. Couple of quick announcements. Again, we still have our email address. I went blank for a second. hardlessonstcp@gmail.com. I was so excited. I came home from work this week and told Teach, we got an email. And I opened it up, and it was about spam. So we
like
still
the food spam, or it was a junk?
It was junk mail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we still don't have email. And
That's okay.
email.
People are busy. Things are going on.
They are.
We ain't as popular as what we think. So, maybe one day it will flourish.
It will happen. And it will be amazing. Remember, if y'all have any connection to true crime, if your great-great-grandfather used to sell bologna to Jimmy Hoffa, if your house is haunted, you wake up every morning and stuff's moved around, write us, let us know. When we get enough of those, we're going to start a new segment called Show and Tell, and we're going to swap roles. Teach is going to read those, and I'm going to give my reaction to them. So, a little bit of a incentive for you, so you don't have to hear me all the time. You get to hear the golden tones of Teach.
The golden tones.
Yes.
That's so sweet of you.
Aww. Second announcement is Teach and I, if you saw on our Facebook post earlier this week, have an awesome, amazing opportunity for the podcast coming in March of 2025. The Boomtown Comic Con in the bustling city of Borger, Texas, over at the Aluminum Dome. They will be hosting a Comic Con, and we have been invited to be a part of it and to maybe do a live show there during it. They're still kind of working out the Wi-Fi and things such as that, but we got till March, so there'll be more information coming up about it. But just an honor to be asked to be a part of it.
Heck yeah.
And to bring over and advertise for the podcast. So, anything else, Teach, that you can think of?
No.
No.
I really can't think of anything.
All right. Well, the more you know.
Today is the less that I really need.
Oh, you're going to like this one. It has to do with space.
Okay, yeah.
It is impossible to burp in space.
Have they tried?
Apparently.
Why is it impossible?
Because of no gravity. The solids, liquids, and gases in your stomach do not separate. So when you go to try to burp, you just throw all that stuff up instead.
Gross.
Yeah.
So you don't want to try that.
You don't even want to try it.
That's weird. How did they figure out it stayed that way in the stomach?
I don't know if they did x-rays or if they did what they did. I don't know.
Which astronauts got the lucky straw to experiment with that?
Well, the article I pulled up didn't say.
Oh, okay.
But
You're like,
I'm going to say John Glenn. He seems to be a guinea pig type of guy.
I'm like, don't say something it's not true.
Yeah, I don't know that to be factual, so please, nobody take me for my word on that.
I mean, that would be curious for me. Like, did you draw the short straw for that one, or
Right.
was it a impromptu? Hey, let's see if we can burp. What about farting?
I'm thinking you'd poo yourself. If none of them separate, I don't guess you could have gas.
Well, there you go. Now you need to look that up.
Can you fart in space?
Yes.
I'm going to do it live as we speak. My handy dandy laptop right here.
Cool. Can you fart in space?
Can you fart in breaking news? Yes, you can fart in space, but it also can be dangerous because of flammability.
Flammability? Well, it is methane.
The gases in farts are flammable, which can be, let's move down here. On Earth, farts are typically no big deal, smelly, harmless, and they quickly dissipate. But if you're an astronaut, every fart is a ticking time bomb. The gases in farts are flammable, which can quickly become a problem in a tiny pressurized capsule in the middle of space where your fart gases have nowhere to go. So,
now, is that true though?
I mean, it's from the Discover magazine.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like with any of those other.
So do they not fart at all? I mean, does your body just like, nope, ain't happening?
You know who we need to ask?
Or is there like a fart cup that they wear?
And there's that hose over there.
I mean, like, seriously. Like, what happens? Like, what if you're out?
Maybe they take...
on a spacewalk.
Maybe they take Gas-X or Beano or something like that.
You're going to have to find out because this is...
All right. See, this is the stuff people turn in for.
I would hate to be the astronaut and you're like,
we should not have had Brussels sprouts for supper.
You know, and if you're in your suit and that's the only place for it to go, that's scary.
You got a point.
So I'm sure it is a very practical solution to this, but I don't know what it is. I never thought about it.
See, sometimes the more you know opens up discussion.
Yes, and now people, whoever listens to this,
all 17, on average.
If you see me, then you can say, "Did he find out if about the farts in space?"
Farting. I'm making myself a note. Farting in space. So
we know that it can be dangerous, but what do they do about it, like to prevent it from happening? Exactly.
I'll be reporting on that next week.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, you ready to get started?
Yes. I think our bell is...
Maybe I need to...
There you go.
I need to be better. Ding.
Yes. Class is in session.
All right. So this week is a true crime story, and I've titled it The Secret.
Am I going to figure the secret out?
I don't know.
Okay.
So dictionary.com defines secret as a not known or seen or not meant to be known or seen by others.
Something is not to be seen or known by others.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody has them.
I've got some.
Some are big. Some are small. Some can cause problems. Others may just be something about a new job they don't want others to know about, especially like their current boss. But others can also be joyful, like a pregnancy.
Yes.
Or a big life change.
Yep.
On average, people keep around 13 secrets at a time. I'm below average.
Well, I know of 2 right now.
Cool. I think I know of one of them.
Well, you know both of them.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I've already forgot one of them, so there's no chance of me telling anybody. So yay me.
Exactly. I'm a great secret keeper because I don't remember.
Hey, see there?
So
I can't tell.
to me, and then I'll be like, okay, if we're gonna have this conversation again, you might want to remind me.
Yeah. Let's pick up right where we left off. A little refresher.
Yep.
See,
Secrets, 13.
I looked up on the Google machine on information as far as how secrets being let out lead to murder. And there wasn't anything really like concrete. It just went back into the definition of secrets. It went into it actually led to, I mean, I'd already chosen this topic, but it led to a story about this, a news story about these individuals.
Okay.
So let's just get into the story.
Alrighty.
And we're going to go to Colorado. Secrets.
Pretty up there.
And I'm not going to say who, but I was talking with somebody that's a fan of the show, and I was telling them, yeah, it's a family in Colorado, secrets led to murder, blah, blah. They're like, you're covering Chris Watts. No, I'm not covering Chris Watts.
Are you ever going to cover that?
I'm never going to cover Chris Watts.
Why?
Because remember, we go for the lesser known individuals. He's got too much popularity.
Yeah, but we could give our own theories.
Hey, well, maybe at some point in time. I mean, that would be more than just a
theories.
That could, ooh. That would be more than just a one episode. I mean, maybe we'll do a whole season on Chris Watts. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's
file
it in that cabinet of yours.
We'll mark that down as a future meeting. What is it they call it? Production meeting.
Production meeting
that we need to have one day.
With the 2 of us.
Hey, we could.
I'm gonna call it on the 3rd Thursday of the 2nd month.
And we could meet like at. We could make it a trip and go to Borger to Jesse's Pizza. Hey Jesse, or we could go out here to Fire Creek. Hey Grant, and then write it off for taxes. Boom, we're already business.
No, we don't do that. Don't do that.
Fine.
3rd Thursday of the 2nd month in the new moon.
when Aura is, I don't know any of those. I don't know. Anyway,
let's just backtrack this squirrel and.
Yeah, Colorado. Mark Redwine and Elaine Hall are from Durango, Colorado, and have been married for years.
Are they currently married?
Mm-mm.
Okay, they were at this time.
At this time. At the start of the story. Towards the middle of the story.
Not so much.
Yeah. The couple shared 2 sons, Corey and Dylan. Corey is 7 years older than Dylan. And in 2008, Mark and Elaine would divorce. This would be the 2nd divorce for Mark. He had a previous wife and a child from that marriage also.
Okay.
In 2010, Elaine and now boyfriend, but at the time, or now husband, but at the time boyfriend, moved from Durango 6 hours away to Colorado Springs for a job opportunity.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's exactly right.
Especially in Colorado where it's expensive.
It's beautifully expensive up there.
Yes.
Remember that time we almost moved to Colorado until I found out state income tax?
Yes. Well, it actually was twice that we were going to move.
once with the sheriff's office just outside of Denver.
Arapahoe County.
Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. That would have been so freaking cool.
It would have been. We would have made it. Other foes, but
It'd been cold, but we'd have done it. In September of 2012, Mark and Elaine were back in court for a custody hearing. Dylan was now 12 years old, so the custody hearing was for Dylan because Corey, being 7 years older, was 19, so he's an adult. Dylan did not want to see his dad and was stressing about the upcoming Thanksgiving trip that he had to take to his dad's house.
So they were going to court to...
Mom was trying to get just full custody with no visitation. Dad was fighting that, and court sided with Dad in this case. Dylan, unfortunately, has to go to his dad's for Thanksgiving.
I'm thinking if a child is begging, please don't make me go, please don't make me go, and there is a definite reason, not because I just don't want to go, then that's putting trauma onto this child.
Right, and that's what the judge said. There's no evidence of your dad being a violent man. You've said he's not a violent man. And Elaine, the mom, said, well, Dylan doesn't want to go, so I'm not going to send him. And her attorney told her, is it a big enough fight you want to go to jail over? Because you will go to jail over it.
Exactly.
So on November 18th, 2012, Elaine puts Dylan on a plane to Durango. He was scheduled to be there Monday through Saturday with his dad. Now, Dylan was excited about going back to Durango, not to see his dad, but to see his friends that he grew up with and that he still kept in contact with.
Did they live close to where his dad lives?
Within walking distance.
Okay.
Not close, but he's young and it's within walking distance.
Okay. Doesn't it normally snow in November?
Probably. I'm not real familiar with the Durango area of Colorado, so I know it's mountainous.
Okay.
And so probably, but I've never been to Durango, so.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Once the plane landed in Durango, security camera footage shows Dad, Mark, and Dylan having very little interaction with each other. There's no hugging. They're just like kind of walking down the runway. And the same thing as they stop briefly at Walmart. They're just both kind of there type of situation. So Dad's not being rude, ugly, mean, or anything, or violent, but he's not being if I hadn't seen my son in months, I'm going to pick him up and bear hug him, give him a shake, put him down.
Do the videos have any audio?
No, ma'am. Just video.
So...
Don't know what they're saying.
The dad could have been saying stuff to him.
Very well could have. Corey, being 19, was not obligated to go, and he had even stopped calling Mark Dad. And whenever he did talk to him, he called him Mark.
I would have to what happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
I need details. Why is it that you don't want to go? I know you're 19 and you're an adult, but was there ever a point in time that you were just like,
Well, that's a good question, Teach. My next line says, why didn't Dylan want to go see his dad?
Yep. See?
Well, let's take a little...
As a mom, that's my first question.
Let's take a little backwards road trip.
Okay.
To 2011. The summer of 2011.
Just before this is before Dylan went by himself?
Yeah, that was in November of 2012. This is in the summer of 2011.
Okay.
So a year before.
Okay.
Dylan was a huge baseball fan. And so Mark takes Dylan and brother Corey on a road trip up to Cleveland, Ohio to watch the Cleveland Indians play.
That's a trip.
That is a trip. That is a trip. Not only did they go to the baseball game, but they went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Like a true vacation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, just, hung out, spent time with them, On the way back, they stopped at a hotel to get some rest one night. And Mark, being a heavy sleeper and being tired, he went to sleep early. Corey was known as a night owl. His mom said it was nothing for him to stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and then be up by 7 or 8 in the morning and just going.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. And so Corey wanted to play some games. Now, in the past, his dad had given him permission and the login to get onto his laptop to play games.
Oh, no.
Now, older brother Corey had just gone out to walk around and get some fresh air at the hotel. So Dylan grabs Dad's laptop. He punches in the password. And he gets ready to play a game. And he saw a new folder that he had never seen before. And curiosity took over the young man. So he opens up the folder. And what did Dylan see next? Several photos of his dad.
Okay. My mind wasn't going that it was about Dad. Oh.
Several photos of Dad.
Okay. Gross photos.
Photos of Mark in a lady's wig. Photos of Mark wearing bras and panties. Photos of Mark wearing other types of lingerie.
Of women's clothing. Okay.
Photos of Mark wearing a diaper and sucking on a bottle.
Okay, that's weird, but that's people's thing.
Photos of Mark wearing a poop-filled diaper.
That's disgusting.
And photos of Mark eating the poop from the diaper.
Oh my gosh. That's where, ooh, okay. Maybe it really wasn't the poop. Maybe it was chocolate pudding.
That's what I'm going to hope, but I'm not going to show you the pictures.
Yeah, please don't, because
I'm not going to post the pictures to our social media. Just know from firsthand experience, they're on there. Now, I will show you. Teach this. Where'd it go? Why did it do that? This is Mark. Nope, this is Dylan.
Okay. Cute kid.
And this is Mark, the dad. Of course, him in court.
So is that him too?
Mm-hmm. That's the dad. The day he was. Spoiler alert: he does get arrested eventually.
Okay.
So that's Mark. Doesn't look like a poop eater type, but you know who does.
Yeah, it's not like you have a name tag.
That's right. I belong to.
My secret fetish is.
Yeah. Dylan is horrified.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Right.
Blood. Whoa.
He runs out of the hotel room with the laptop in hand, looking for Corey. Corey does his best to calm his brother down and sees what Dylan found. Corey takes out his phone and takes pictures of him. Dylan's like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Future evidence." Later, after the trip, in a text argument that Corey had with Mark, Corey revealed to his dad that he knew about the photos. Mark didn't believe Corey until he received one of his own photos from Corey with the caption, "Hey, beautiful, you are what you eat. Take a look in the mirror."
Ew. I can figure out which one she's about to or the one he sent.
I can too. So back to 2012, November 2012, Thanksgiving week. Dylan planned to stay that Monday night with his best friend. But Mark told Dylan that he could not go. This is your first night here. You're not going to go stay. You can go see your friends, but your first night here, you're going to stay at the house with me. I've already got supper plans. I've already got this. I've already got that. That's understandable.
Yeah, very understandable.
So Dylan texted his friend and asked if he could come over early, like 6:30 in the morning early. So his friend, Ryan Nava, who was also 13, or 12, 12, set an alarm for 6:15 so he would be awake to let him in at 6:30.
Yeah.
Mark had told Dylan, listen, I've got some errands I've got to run tomorrow. I'm off work this week, but I've got to go into work because somehow my timesheet got messed up, blah, blah, blah. I got this to do. I got that to do. Why don't you go hang out with your friends while I'm gone? And, and we'll talk from there about you spending the night with them.
Practical.
I'm assuming that's how it went.
That sounds logical, but I don't know that that's how it went.
I'm not sure. So Ryan sets his alarm for 6:15. He goes downstairs, unlocks the back door, kitchen door, sends Dylan a text that, hey man, kitchen door's unlocked, come in through there. 6:45 rolls around, Dylan isn't there, and there's no text from him. So Ryan texts again, where are you? Door's unlocked. That text went unanswered.
So I would be already freaking out.
So Mark gets done running his errands and starts texting Dylan around noon to see if he was ready to be picked up, want to go grab some lunch, blah, blah, blah. Dylan doesn't answer. So Mark then calls Dylan's phone a few times, which also goes unanswered. So Mark drives over to the Nava's home because that's where his son was headed. Brian said Dylan never showed up. Mark went back home. There was no sign of Dylan. Backpack, everything was gone. So Mark is thinking Dylan ran away. He didn't want to be here. Maybe some of his friends are hiding him out. Maybe his mom's coming down to pick him up. I don't know. So instead of calling his ex-wife Elaine, he just sends her a 3-word text. Dylan is missing. She's 6 hours away and gets a text that her 12-year-old son, who's supposed to be in the care of his dad, is missing.
I would be in the car immediately and on the phone to the cops.
Well, you and Elaine are on the same page because her husband, and Corey start making the 6-hour drive to Durango. And
I'll buy freaking clothes on the way.
And while en route, she calls the Durango Police Department.
Smart lady. I ain't playing games.
No, ma'am. But not Mark, who was sitting right there in Durango. He doesn't call. She calls 6 hours away. But Dylan was last seen wearing, I told you he's a huge baseball fan, a black and white T-shirt of the Chicago White Sox, black and white pair of Nike Air Jordan high tops, and sweatpants. Immediately, hundreds showed up from the community to help search for Dylan. His friend Ryan got the word out.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, how did the community come together? Was there like an city announcement or something?
Ryan texted other friends. Elaine contacted friends that she had from when she lived there. Yeah. So like all of a sudden, just people come out to help search for him. All along, Elaine thought Mark had something to do with the disappearance. She's like, he's the only one. He was the last one to see him.
I mean, that's the logical conclusion. It's like, you're the last one to see him, so what the crap happened?
Exactly.
Like,
where is he?
But let's get you under some truth serum or something.
Mm-hmm. But in Mark's defense, he seemed concerned, pleading for his son's return and being cooperative with law enforcement and answering their questions and stuff.
Okay. Maybe it was one of those, he was walking and somebody picked him up.
Could have.
It's a booger.
Corey, the older brother, when he got there to Durango, told the police about a text message he received from Dylan the night before.
Oh, okay.
Dylan was further upset with his dad because he was disrespecting both Elaine and Corey, calling Dylan's mom. Where'd that come from? Calling Dylan's mom a whore and saying how disrespectful he was, or how
Corey?
How he was. Mark was. Disappointed.
I'm like, I don't know.
We pause for dramatic effect. Disappointed in Corey because he turned out to be nothing but an alcoholic.
Was that even true?
No. So Dylan sends his brother a text and asks him, he's like, if he's going to disrespect you and mom, then I'm going to show him what I know. Send me the photos of Poopy Face Pop.
Oh, no.
So Corey does.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I love Dylan's boldness. I love how he called him Poopy Face Pop. I just wished he would have done it a little differently.
Yeah, he needed to not do that while he was there by himself. I probably would have got in trouble too, because I would have been saying stuff back.
Right.
Well, I would think, but, I was not the most vocal as a kid. Believe it or not, I was not.
Exactly. I don't believe it.
I was not. I don't think. I guess Shane could tell me.
Who was the young lady in kindergarten who snuck back into her parents' house and was going to hide out in the laundry room?
No, I did hide out in the washer.
And got caught by your brother Shane? Mom, I thought you said Shane.
Well, I woke up and I walked into the living room. And I was like, "Where's Mom?" And he was like, "What are you doing here?" Yes, but I was literally one of those children that had traumatic kindergarten experience.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, I didn't want to go at all. I hated it.
I don't blame you.
It was awful.
It was bad teachers.
Yes. All right, let's keep going. Yeah. I don't even know where that went. Oh, that I wasn't quiet, but I really was.
Yeah. So early the next morning.
Okay, so everybody got here, yes.
Yeah, everybody's there. Everybody's in Durango. It's early in the morning. It's cold. It's Colorado in November. Hundreds of people braved the cold looking for Dylan. They were searching mountainside. They were going house to house. They were looking everywhere.
Okay.
Hundreds of people. Not among them was Mark.
Well, where was precious Mark?
Mark was sitting on his front porch drinking coffee, while other people are out looking for his son.
Was he not concerned?
If you asked him, he was, but it was cold outside.
No.
Now, I'm sure your son's not cold. Why are you not showing concern or care for your son?
Got bad things floating in my head. I would be chewing, saying things to that man. No.
Police would receive a call from Arizona from a lady by the name of Elizabeth Horvath.
Okay. Is she a psychic?
She is Mark's first wife.
Ooh.
She informed law enforcement that in the late 80s, while on a camping trip to Colorado, Mark was looking around the mountainside and said, this would be a great place to leave a body. After they find it, you could blame it on wild animals eating it.
Oh. See, that takes me back. Your flippin' dumb butt lives here in Durango with all of this crap weather, and you're just gonna sit there and drink coffee? Where's the freaking baseball bat?
Exactly.
Like, I'm getting mad.
I know you was.
So the ex-wife calls and tells on him?
And also another little bit of tidbit of information that she gave was that when they went to court for their divorce proceedings, he leaned over and said, "I'll kill our son before I let you have custody."
Oh, ouch. But that's just hearsay.
That's just hearsay.
It's hearsay.
But with this information, police obtained a search warrant for Mark's house.
All while everybody else is out hunting for him in the cold.
In the cold.
On walking and horses and helicopters, I imagine. Like, this isn't no easy thing to do.
And with it being November.
Cold.
Some of the roads on the mountain had already been closed for the winter. So there were some areas they couldn't search. So they were limited.
Oh, no.
So, I don't know that we have talked about this chemical, so I'm going to give a definition.
Okay.
Luminol.
Isn't that where, like, they spray and things are highlighted?
If there's blood or, yes.
Yeah. What else does it show?
It's a chemical that produces a blue glow when it comes into contact with blood or other oxidizing agents.
Okay.
When reporters would talk with Elaine during this time, she was continually pointing the finger to Mark. He had something to do with it. He was the last one to see him alive, blah, blah, blah. When they would talk with Mark, he played the poor pitiful me card.
The victim card.
And would say that he wished during this difficult time that he and his ex-wife could just come together and work as a team. Which, that's how it should be.
Definitely.
If you wasn't such a douchebag.
Well, you got priorities, man. Coffee. It's cold outside.
It's cold
you gotta
outside.
Warm up your old bones or something.
That is right. So on Thanksgiving morning, also on Thursday, day 3 of Dylan being missing, the search warrant was served on Mark's house.
Okay, where does the luminol come in at?
Luminol did show blood in Mark's living room, on the floor, and on his couch.
Like in little pieces?
I looked up the photos of that also. They were not little pieces of blood. It was chunks.
Big splotches. Something bled heavily.
Something bled heavily.
All over.
Of course, now they can say whether it was Mark's blood, Dylan's blood. They could say it was human blood. So
I imagine they tested it though.
I'm sure they did, but that would take usually back when I was in law enforcement is all I can speak to. It would take months to years to get results back. So
of course now I'm like, oh no, I just gutted a dead deer in here. Thought I got it all up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Who guts a deer in their living room?
Well, the poop eater apparently. But
good point.
It's not deer blood because it came back human blood.
Exactly.
And I'm going to guess with that much loss, it's like, you can't just get up and walk away.
Yeah, you're going to feel dizzy if you get up. Also, in the search, they brought in a cadaver dog. The dog reacted to the scent of a human corpse not only inside the house, but also in the bed of Mark's Dodge pickup.
Those dogs are specifically trained.
Yes, ma'am. You know what? I forgot to hit record.
No, you did, because we counted down.
Dang it.
So the doggies hit on a human death smell
Yes.
in the house and in the douchebag's truck bed.
Exactly. Like I said, because of the rugged terrain of the mountains and snowfall in the area, the search for Dylan was limited.
Yes. However, in the back of the truck, you knew it could go so far, and then
Right. Well,
off-roading you go.
we're going to fast forward now 7 months to June 27th, 2013.
Okay, so they continued to hunt, they continued to gather evidence, and 7 months later...
Is where we're at now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, and they really, in that time, they can't arrest Mark because of the old saying, no body, no case.
Right, it's all circumstantial. All we really have is a bunch of blood in the house.
That's right.
That doesn't explain anything.
Exactly. Hikers find one black and white high top Air Jordan.
Let me guess, in an area that people couldn't have gotten to.
A torn Chicago White Sox t-shirt. A black pair of earbuds. A clavicle, fibula, and tibia bone. In an area that was unreachable. That was actually had big locked gates in front of.
Whoa.
Now they were almost certain that this was Dylan Redwine. But
well, the black and white, but you have to be 100% certain.
They had to send the bones off, and they got the positive result that it was the remains of Dylan Redwine. Those 3 bones.
Those 3 bones. And that's all that they had found.
Items were found on Middle Mountain, name of the mountain, 100 yards off of an ATV trail, 8 miles from Mark Redwine's house.
8 miles.
8 miles.
Let me guess. While he sat on his porch drinking coffee, he had a bird's eye view of exactly where Dylan was.
And guess who owned an ATV?
Douchebag Dad.
Poopy face Papa. Not long after this discovery, Mark was talking to his eldest son, and half-brother Dylan, Brandon Redwine, the boy that he was going to kill instead of let his mom have.
Yeah.
And made the weird comment that, and this is in quotes, unless they find Dylan's skull, they can't prove that it was blunt force trauma. Nothing was even said about that. He just made that comment out of the clear blue.
Like, just randomly having a conversation with his son, and, oh yeah, by the way, they wouldn't be able to tell this.
Brandon after the conversation, turned to his wife and said, I think he just confessed that he killed him.
I would have been calling the cops.
Brandon's on top of it, just like stepmom Elaine. He did. And
yeah, don't tell me you killed somebody, because I'm going to tell on you.
They do. Elaine, Corey, and Mark all appeared on the Dr. Phil show.
Before he was arrested for anything?
Yeah, he hadn't been arrested yet.
But the body had been found.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on...
But, I mean, still it could be, hey, Dylan went up there on his own and a bear tore him up. The way his shirt's torn up.
The opposite direction of his friend that he was supposed to meet at 6:15 or be there by 6:30. That Dylan knows like the back of his hand how to get to his friend's house, and yet he goes the opposite direction.
Climbs up into the mountain.
No, that's BS.
Mark's behavior on Dr. Phil's show, I know this is not going to
Shock me.
shock you or anybody else listening, was odd. He kept blaming Elaine for the disappearance, saying that he thinks that she did it to get back at him. I know.
Like, she was 6 hours away with her husband and son. Eyewitnesses everywhere. Like, she couldn't have driven there.
Telephone records show that she's in Colorado Springs.
Like, oh, he's just reaching.
He is. Also,
crazy.
Dr. Phil offered to give Mark a polygraph exam. And Dr. Phil, for as many years as he had been hosting his show, had offered polygraph exams.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Redwine holds the distinct honor or dishonor of being the first man to refuse to take a polygraph exam on Dr. Phil's show. Sam spilt his coffee on that this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So now there is a portion of the video, and I didn't download it to play or anything because I don't want to be sued by Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
But you can find it on YouTube. Dr. Phil chews this man up one side and down the other, calls him a damn liar and blah blah blah, and it's
good for him.
It's just amazing. Do you know how many times I've offered polygraph exams in the 20 years of this show? Over 1,000. That man right there has done every one of them. And you, sir, are the first one to refuse.
Why are you refusing?
Exactly. What have you got to hide?
Exactly. Don't you want to prove once and for all, or halfway prove, because you know they're not really that reliable?
You had nothing to do with this.
Exactly. But, you know, go ahead and continue to be here and be the douchebag.
Mm.
Did his private picture folder come up any at all?
Not in the segments that I watched on Dr. Phil.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
But so almost 3 years later, November 1st, 2015.
Oh my gosh.
Some different hikers are up in the mountains. In an area about 2 miles away from where the clothing and the 3 bones was found, they see this peculiar looking rock in the ground.
It's not a rock, it's his head.
They bend down to pick it up, and it is the skull belonging to Dylan Redwine. 2 miles away.
So it was closer? Or
Further.
2 miles
2 miles further.
So about 10, 11 miles away.
Yes, ma'am.
Same area.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, I know this may not be surprising to you again or anybody else listening, but there were signs of blunt force trauma.
I was going to say, there's whole signs right there.
And of cut marks in his skull.
Cut marks in his skull or on?
In and around.
Like,
not jagged, not torn, but nice, smooth.
sawing looking. Like.
He was decapitated, yes, ma'am.
Because without the skull, you can't prove anything.
Thank you.
That's going to come back and bite him in the bobo. I hope he found him somebody in prison that likes his little fetishes.
I hope so too,
or he's praying to the Lord above that please don't let anybody find that out, because I'm going to be in trouble.
It did take 2 years longer.
So 5 years later.
June 17th, 2017, they get a grand jury indictment and Mark is arrested for second-degree murder and child abuse leading to death. Both felonies in the state of Colorado.
Good.
But with COVID-19 delays and this, that, and the other, Mark did not go on trial till 2021.
So 7 years now.
Almost 8.
Almost 8.
Almost 8 years after the death of Dylan. He goes
Poor
on trial.
mama and brother.
Oh my gosh.
And stepdad. I'm not discounting him
Right.
either. But
He played a huge part in all this. You know, like I said, I mean, it took a while because of
COVID.
well, but even before he was arrested, you know, from the time they found the skull till the time they arrested him was 2 years, or a year and a half. But you know, the autopsy technicians had to do their part, and they had to get the DNA result just to make sure it was Dylan.
That's true.
And so, but in one of the stepdad's trips back to Durango, he went up on Middle Mountain, and
so he would continue to go back and hunt.
He would continue to go back and hunt and search. And on one of his trips, he sees Mark Redwine in his pickup, just driving around up there. And when they made eye contact, he said it was like Mark saw a ghost. He just and flew out of there. Turned around, went the opposite direction, speedy quick.
Well, yeah, because it's like, oh, dang, they're on to me.
Mm-hmm. Defense attorneys tried arguing that Dylan simply ran away and was tragically killed by the wildlife in the mountains.
So a bear or something decapitated him with smooth cut, just one cut.
Yeah.
And he's decapitated.
I
don't think that's how bears do it.
That was quickly proven wrong.
Good.
Cuts were clean and not jagged like wildlife would. Also, what was brought up is that wildlife doesn't carry your parts away. They sit there and eat you till they're full or till they're done. His skull was found 2 miles away.
Buried.
Prosecution argued that Dylan revealing that he knew about the photos triggered a fatal rage in Mark. And this is in the argument that the prosecutor made. At a time when most people would have been out in the woods with flashlights, braving the cold, looking for their son, leaving a light on inside their house or all the lights on inside their house in case that child returned home. Many witnesses at 11 o'clock on the first night that Dylan was reported missing stated that you turned your lights off at 11 p.m. and went to bed. And that says everything you need to know about Mark Redwine right there. He knew, why should I go out there and look? That's why he stayed on his porch drinking coffee. Why should I go look? He's dead.
That's a guilty telltale sign.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I may not have been physically able to get up and go and hunt, but then people would have been fed and hot chocolate and whatever I could have done. Like, thank you. Not sitting my stupid ass on a porch drinking coffee.
Coffee would be the last of my worry.
Yes. Lord have mercy on this man's soul.
On October 8th, 2021, so almost 8 years after Dylan's death, Mark was found guilty of the second-degree murder and child abuse leading to death. And I'm happy to say that the judge gave him the maximum sentence, 48 years without the possibility of parole.
There you go. And he was already an oldish person going in.
In 2021, he was 60 years old, so he'll be 108 before he gets released. However, to this day, he still claims his innocence.
Doesn't 90% of the people in prison claim that they didn't do it? That wasn't me. That wasn't my stuff.
Yeah.
That my friend wanted me to hold it for him. Dude, were you in possession of that? Well, yeah, then you are liable. Boo. I don't care about who asked you to do what. It was in your possession.
More than once.
Like, did he have a work shed? Did they even think about looking in there? Because he had to have a saw somewhere. Not like one of them little Swiss Army saws.
Yeah, that would take him forever.
Exactly. Like this,
More than once, when I was in law enforcement, I would find a little baggie of substance in somebody's. Well, these aren't even my jeans. Well, then whose jeans did you steal? Do I need to arrest you for that also? Theft of jeans? Because
And why would you be wearing somebody else's stanky jeans?
yeah, you're already in possession of the drugs. I don't care if they're your jeans or not. So you want to add the theft of jeans on top of it?
No. I would have to say, if you would just be honest with what's happening right now, we could just get on with our lives.
Exactly. And that is the story of the secrets for this week. My bibliography is allthat'sinteresting.com. The disturbing story of Dylan Redwine, 13-year-old boy whose father killed him over lewd photos. 9news.com out of Denver, Colorado. Dylan Redwine's remains found not far from ATV trail on Middle Mountain. DenverPost.com. Mark Redwine. I always feel like I'm saying Redwine. Mark Redwine murder trial. Dylan suffered skull fracture inside the shocking case. Nope, that's the other one. People.com. Inside the shocking case of a Colorado dad who beheaded son after boy made disturbing discovery. And mirror.co.uk. Dad beheads own son, 13, after teen found photos of him in lingerie eating feces.
Did they ever find his phone?
Never found the phone.
Did Corey testify? Like, I got this text at this time.
And they got the phone records saying that yes, Dylan texted Corey and Corey texted Dylan, but they never found Corey's phone. Dylan's phone.
But there was evidence from Corey because you can see files being shared.
Yes, ma'am. So, Teach, what is my grade for this week? Had you heard of this case?
I think so, but I don't know. I can't pinpoint.
Sure.
This was an A. Because you did some good research.
Thank you, love.
So where is this man in prison at?
In Colorado.
Somewhere in Colorado?
Yes, ma'am. I'm hoping Canyon City, Colorado. That's supposed to be like the roughest.
The roughest?
I don't know how many prisons are in Colorado, but Canyon City has the reputation. There's like 4 or 5 state prisons and a federal prison just outside of Canyon City. And so that's like Colorado's answer to Huntsville for us. Okay. That's like their prison mecca.
Okay. But he still claims that he's innocent. What is he saying? That he ran away
there was even one point in time where he was like, see, his fishing pole. It used to be right here in my garage. His fishing pole is gone. And then a few months later, is miraculously found.
Where? Where was it found?
Yeah, well, the article didn't say that. It just said that Mark walked up to police with the fishing pole and said, well, here's Dylan's pole.
Yeah, because that's going to tell a story, dude.
Right, that's just him grasping at straws.
This is probably why I would not make it. I don't know. I just have those questions. Like, well, that isn't going to help me out or not. Like, how do I know?
Right.
Like, you're grasping at straws. Don't come talking to me about this stuff.
Let's see.
Was he in contact with the police any at all while they're still searching?
He was cooperative with the police.
Except when it comes to a polygraph.
Right.
Is Is there anybody still fighting for him?
For Mark?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, he's not on his defense team. Was it like no? They didn't defend him too rigorously, huh?
Exactly.
Well, I imagine they did. But when you have all of this compelling evidence,
Right. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just
okay.
every article keeps saying, sentenced to 48 years in prison, blah, blah, blah. The only thing I'm finding is he's incarcerated at the La Plata County Jail. Well, that's county, so that would have been before.
Yeah,
And La Plata
it doesn't
County
really
is...
matter. It really doesn't,
Right.
because I'm not gonna contact the stupid man unless I'm gonna ask, did you find anybody to help you out with your fetish? I'm curious.
Do you get to poop your pants and eat it in prison?
Exactly.
Oh, well.
Are you like... that's very wrong. I'm so sorry. That's very wrong.
Well, Teach, what am I reporting on next week?
You are reporting on host choice.
Host choice. All right. So just as a reminder, that is, I get to pick whatever I want to and report on. It could be true crime again. It could be paranormal. It could be something that doesn't even belong to any of those categories.
What would it be?
It could be a medical mystery. It could be something from history. Here's the Dylan's shoe after it was found.
So, like, when you're interviewing people and you know you have this evidence, you really can't just go in and say, so we've got this evidence and you did it, so we just need to sign the papers that you did it.
It's a skull.
Like, you can, right there.
Yeah.
That is a heavy-duty blunt force trauma. That's like a baseball bat.
Baseball bat, a hammer. I was trying to find his shirt. It's just, yeah.
In a tree.
In a tree. You can tell the Chicago White Sox logo on it.
I'm curious how it would have gone up into a tree. Maybe wind blew it, that type of thing.
And after he was discarded, a bear could have come up and
ripped it off. That's true.
So, who knows?
So,
All right, classmates. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. When this comes out on Sunday, it'll be mine and Teach's 23rd wedding anniversary. So we're going to be partying hardy or hardly, one of the two.
Probably hardly.
Probably. All right, guys. Thanks for your support. Send us an email, and we'll talk to you next week.
Class is dismissed.